Today we got a story of a kid who fakes being sick to skip school, but unfortunately for him, it goes terribly wrong. So sit back, relax, maybe grab something to eat, grab something to drink, subscribe if you're new, and let's call today's subscriber who submitted the story, let's call him Alex. So this all happened when Alex was in 3rd grade, and a new video game came out. Alex didn't specify to me which new video game came out, or maybe it was a new video game, and it was just releasing, and he had some online friends that for some reason were able to play the game, yet he had school. So the night before, he was thinking to himself, I really want to play this game when it comes out. Like, I don't want to go to school. I don't even want to wait for it. And he thinks to himself, all right, how am I going to get out of school? And then he thinks like, oh, if I'm too sick, I won't have to go to school. So Alex is sitting in his bed and he's thinking to himself, all right, how can I make it convincing to my mom that I'm sick? So Alex is like, all right, I got to think of something. I got to think of like, I know. I'll have stomach cramps and I'll have such a scratchy throat that I can't really speak at all, and I'll have to write it down to really show. So Alex decides that next day when he wakes up in the morning, he's going to stay in his bed, and he's going to be all like, ooh, making all these noises. And eventually his mom's going to come in because she notices that he hasn't been out of bed yet, and like it's time for them to go, and he's going to like be like, Mom. And then he's gonna like take a piece of paper. He'll crouch out of bed. He'll grab a piece of paper, write down that his stomach hurts so bad, and that like he can barely speak. And she'll probably check his temperature and see that his temperature is normal, but since he has those symptoms, he'll probably get to stay home at school. So Alex thinks, all right, this is perfect. I'm going to do that. I'm going to trick my mom. I will be able to stay home for school today. I'll be in my room all day, and I'll be able to play the new game when it comes out. So anyways, the next day comes around, Alex's alarm goes off, and he remembers the plan. So he finds a piece of paper in his room. So he gets out of bed very stealthily, grabs like a piece of paper, grabs a pencil, and puts it near his bed. Or grabs a pen or whatever, it doesn't matter. And so sure enough, he's sitting in that bed, and he's just waiting. And he has to leave every morning at 7:30. So his mom normally expects to see him around 7 to get breakfast. And it's already 7:10, 7:11, 7:12. So, his mom's probably like, where's this kid? Like, what is he doing? His mom goes upstairs, opens the door, and is like, Alex, we got like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you downstairs? And Alex is like, oh, makes noises. And she's like, Alex. And then he takes a piece of paper that he grabbed earlier, and he takes his pen and he writes down, throat hurts really bad, also cramping, can't really move. So sure enough, right, he hands that to his mom, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, let me check your temperature. So she goes over, gets the thermometer. I think I said thermostat earlier. That's incorrect. The thermometer, goes over, puts in his mouth, and, reads like 98.7 or whatever the normal human body temperature is. So she's like, okay, well, you don't have a fever, but it sounds like you can't really talk or move. And he just kind of groans like, So she's like, all right, well, I'm going to call on the school, and I think the best thing for you is just to stay here. I'm going to go to the school. I'm going to go to the store. We're out of like, I don't know, Tums or something. Like, she's like, I might even call up your doctor if this doesn't get better, but I got to go to like the local pharmacy to go pick up some stuff for you. I'll get you some chicken noodle soup. I'll get you some Tums. I'll get you some, stuff like that. And Alex kind of like turns around and is like, whatever. So eventually she calls the school. It's not going in that day. And she goes off to Walgreens. And immediately as he hears the door close, he jumps out of bed, goes over, logs into his PC, and starts like, I don't know if it's a new update to a game or downloading a new game. Either way, he gets on the game and things seem to be going great. He's logged in, he's playing that game. Life is good, man, and nothing can change his mind. Real quick comment, school, if you made it this far into the video. I just like to see how many people made it this far, and I'll try and drop some hearts on some comments. And also, if you want to help the channel out, make sure to just binge watch the videos. You can do it while you're drawing, or even like this person on screen right now. You can make a playlist or go to my playlist and watch these and help these videos, or watch these videos to help you go to sleep. I know last night I was watching, what was I watching? I think I was watching South Park to help me go to sleep, man. I understand it now, and it actually does help the channel. Anyways, right, so, the day is going pretty well for Alex until he hears his mom get back home. And, he was like playing, he was on Discord, he was playing the new game with his friends. He's like, because he explained to them like the night before what he was planning to do. And he's in Discord, he's like, guys, I got to get off right now. My mom's back. I'm going to try and get on later. Like, I'll figure it out. Just wait a second. So he gets off Discord, logs out of the game, and crawls back into his bed, pretending like nothing, just pretending like nothing was happening. And, sure enough, his mom walks into the room. She has the Tums. She's like, all right, take these. If you don't know, Tums are like medication that helps for like upset stomachs or whatever. He takes them, and she's like, all right, well, make sure just to get lots of rest. I don't know, like, I'll bring lunch up to you around 1. It was around 11, so Alex had at least 2 hours, and she said, I'm going to be downstairs doing some work. Like, I'm going to stay in today just to make sure you're okay. And in Alex's head, he's like, oh, God. And it was Alex's mom's job allowed her to, like, sometimes take days, like, to do the work at home. She normally went into an office. I don't know exactly what she does, but she was able to do it at home before the whole remote work craze thing, because this happened many years ago. But anyways, Alex was like, okay, I'll just have to be really quiet, and I'll have to be like listening to her, and maybe I'll lock my door or whatever. So eventually Alex's mom leaves the room and goes downstairs. So Alex gets up. He's like, all right, this is going to be my opportunity. He gets on his game and he starts playing. The problem is he kind of loses himself in the game. And so he's starting to play it, he's getting really into it, and at the same time, he's playing with his friends on Discord, so he's really, like, locked in or whatever, and he's, like, starts talking. And he starts talking a little bit louder, and that's when he hears footsteps come up the stairs. Quickly turns off Discord, turns off the game, and quietly power walks to his bed and gets in it. And his mom opens up the door, and she's like, hi, like, sorry, I just want to ask what you wanted for lunch. And she gives him 2 different options, and Alex is a little bit like, Mom, come on now. So this is where Alex makes his flop, because Alex's mom goes downstairs again, and she's cooking up food or whatever, and he gets back on the game, and he's excited. He's like, guys, all right, I just gotta be careful. And they're like, it's fine, man. We don't really want to keep pausing, but we'll pause for you. So they're playing the game, and, he's really getting into it. And the thing is, right, Alex's mom starts walking up the stairs. Once again, because lunch was ready like 30 minutes later. But normally, last time, Alex heard her walking up the stairs, but this time the game volume was simply too loud, and Alex couldn't hear her walking up the stairs. So instead, Alex's mom gets up to the door, but instead of opening it, right, she just stops there and listens for a second. And Alex isn't screaming, but he's talking pretty like loudly or fully to his teammates, being like, go left, go left, go left. And he's like clicking or whatever, go left, go left. And at this point, Alex's mom slowly opens up the door to see Alex like talking. Remember, the 2 things that he was talking about was that he had a sore throat and that his stomach hurt, right? So Alex's mom looked in, and she was looking at this. Her son was sitting upright, which normally gamers slouch, but apparently he was sitting upright, which before he could barely move from the bed, and he was also talking perfectly normally. So Alex's mom decides not to confront him right there, but in fact to close the door and to come back and to make it much more apparent. So she closes the door and knocks on it very loudly. And Alex is like, oh my God, turns off Discord, turns off the game, crawls back into bed. And Alex's mom enters, and she's like, so, are you feeling better? And Alex is like, ugh. He grabs the piece of paper and says, can't talk, throat hurts, stomach hurts. And Alex's mom just looks at this piece of paper. And at this point, Alex has no idea that he just messed up. Alex's mom says, oh, really? Then would you care to explain while you were talking very loudly to your friends on your little messaging site and also sitting upright playing a video game? And at this point, right, Alex just looks at her and his face is like, oh boy, I just got caught. And yeah, sure enough, Alex is like, well, I'm feeling a little better. I mean, I'm not doing great. Oh, my stomach, but I'm feeling a little better. I'm just moving around the room a little bit. And Alex's mom's like, Alex, I know you're faking it. And Alex is like, what? What do you mean? She's like, Alex, I heard you talking totally normally, sitting totally normally. And Alex is like, well. And Alex's mom is like, Alex, I know you want to play this new video game," she points to the video game, "or whatever with your friends or something, but you can't be lying to me like that. Like, you get, like, obviously, we're not going back to school today because it's already, like, 1 in the afternoon. There's no point for me to drive you in just for me to drive you out later. Like, that's ridiculous." And Alex in his head is like, yes. But she says, "But since you tricked me into staying home just to play more video games, I'm taking your PC for the day. You'll get it back tomorrow, but I'm taking it for today." And Alex in his head is like, no. So anyways, the mom goes in, grabs the PC or computer or whatever, and leaves the room. And Alex is sitting there because he doesn't have a phone or anything. He's only in 3rd grade. It's just like, all right, well, what am I going to do now? And Alex decided to do something that he never, ever thought he would ever do. He went outside. Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.